So the 2019 US Open about to come to a conclusion. This is the wheelchair men's doubles final. The British pair will kick this off. It will be Gordon Reid, the lefty, who starts this final against Fernandez and Kunieda, the top two players in the singles world ranking.
Number 2 double seeds here at the tournament, behind the French pair, who the Brits eliminated in the opening round in the semifinals.
Just deep.
Love 15.
Good opening point. Everybody getting a chance to air it out a little bit. Just try to get in a little rhythm early. No tension there between those two partners. Looking pretty comfortable.
Love 30.
Just to clarify, this is best of 3 sets, with the third set being a match tiebreak, first to 10 points. Should we need an elongated tiebreak to settle this one? That's a great return.
Yeah, phenomenal, and that's a classic Shingo Kunieda return there. Coming in early, well inside the baseline, taking the ball early on the rise. Watch, there it is. Classic Shingo. Targeted beautifully off the sideline and looking to follow it up in case he'd gotten to it. Two distinct return of serve styles between Shingo and Fernandez. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Shingo will oftentimes, and most of the time, get inside the baseline and look to take it early. And it's Fernandez who will oftentimes stay back a little bit behind the baseline and full stroke that thing after the air comes out of the serve, but full stroke and just tee off on every return he can get a look at. Great return with Alfie sneaking in. Shingo getting a good look and able to go behind Alfie at this here. Alfie getting stuck in his recovery. Shingo go behind. No chance for Alfie on that one.
So an early break. Kunieda and Fernandez off to a really strong start. It'll be fascinating to see how Fernandez deals with the disappointment of only just missing out on a piece of history. He was going for the calendar Grand Slam. That's all 4 majors.
Look, see at the Fernandez coaching box right there in the left-hand corner. And I know, having talked to Fernando San Martin, Gustavo's coach, good shot of him right there on the beard.
Fernandez to serve.
How disappointed he was as well. Not in his player, but just that his player was able to get to that historic moment. Worked together for a long time.
He lost to Stefan yesterday. I thought it was fascinating listening to Uday afterwards in his post-match interview on the court for 2 reasons. One, that he was so emotional that it meant so much to him, that win, and also just how well he used his experience as well. And he sort of said to himself midway through that third set, I recognised that he would be feeling nervous. This is a piece of history we're talking about. And even though he's down 4-2 in the third, just kept giving himself the right messages and hoping that this guy got a little tight, a little nervous. And
yeah, that's experience right there, which Stefan certainly has. And to his credit to put those thoughts together in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, he looked very calm, the Frenchman. Also amazing when these guys can remember matches they've played. He referenced his win against Fernandez. I think it was in Rotterdam earlier this season, and he even specifics in those last couple of games, saying, I remembered that the returns at the line were working well that day. And again, in the heat of the moment, that's presumably not that easy to sort of cast your mind back and come up with a clear plan and then execute it.
Yeah, the best players are able to do that. I think that's the genius of the tennis mind. It's not just the physical aspect of it, which these guys all are capable of handling, but I think more so it's the mental and those little playbooks that you have in the back of your mind, those little journals that you're able to access. There's a great get by Alfie.
40-30.
Shingo and Gustavo got a little bit out of sorts there. It's not often that you'll see two wheelchair players up inside the court. You could see Shingo trying to get out, and because of that misalignment, I think Fernandez didn't know exactly where to go and left that angle open for Alfie. Normally he wouldn't have dived that hard into the middle, but I think he was trying to protect middle, knowing that Shingo was trying to get out.
Game. Fernandez. Kunieda.
For the Argentine. Nice start for their team.
Fernandez, Kunieda lead. 2 games to love. First set.
Relatively quickly, 5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah.
Two-game cushion already.
Right. Few unforced errors from Alfie and Gordy kind of produced the difference so far. And Fernandez, Kunieda just really being solid out the gate on 3 points, making it the Brits are
Alfie, Hewett to serve.
Massive stroke from Fernandez there. And even with the left-hander out there wide, he barely got that one and was forced into the air. But that's just, watch him just tee off. Just too much for Gordy even.
What's he done well this year, Fernandez? What's set him apart from the rest of his opponents over the last, well, certainly the first 3 majors of the year?
Yeah, I think the thing that I picked up on with Gustavo is his just hungrier to win and his resiliency and not, he hasn't walked through the field throughout the year. It's not like it's come easy where he's just been rolling people. He's just outworked people. And I think it's just been his refusal to lose. In other words, that just will. And that's what separated him. And I don't know how long he can sustain that. But for this year, for this calendar year, it's been Gustavo Fernandez who's had the more and the stronger will to win. And that's what's gotten him into this, what got him into the position to have a potential calendar Grand Slam. Tactically on the court, he's just a beast. Oftentimes he doesn't play a classical wheelchair recovery pattern. He stays on the baseline and dictates from there, which is unique. And it's just his raw strength that allows him to do that. Dictate from the middle. If you get it outside of the middle third, you might get him stretched out, but if he gets a good look at it, he doesn't back off anything and he hits his targets. He's just well trained.
And his break point slips away, but a couple more chances here. Be a perfect start for Fernandez and Kunieda.
That's some classic Shingo Kunieda right there. 2 just well-placed shots setting up the easy put away and the great touch with the angled winner. That's just too good right there.
Yeah, dream start. Very quick to build a 3-0 lead in this first set.
Yeah, 8 minutes in and 3 games up.
Kunieda, Shingo to serve.
First look at Kunieda serve. Right to work on Hewett. Let's see how that KT tape's holding up.
15 love.
Yeah, that was noticeable, wasn't it?
The NFL's kicking off today here. Sunday in the U.S. It's a big day, and it's when the top cornerback goes out for an injury and they bring a substitution in. I think you know where the first pass is going. It's continued errors by the Brits. It's given this early lead, an easy lead to Fernandez and Kunieda.
40 love.
Great serve.
78 miles per hour, but perfectly placed. Not an overwhelmingly big serve. Kunieda's not known for that, but he does move it around, has a lot of spin on it.
Game. Fernandez, Kunieda.
So this perfect
Fernandez,
start
Kunieda lead. 4 games to love. First
continues
set.
for love.
Yeah, it was another serve that started that all out. Great serve up the tee. And then Shingo pulls Alfie into the middle, and Alfie just can't handle that ball. Maybe still a little bit unfocused, wondering about how that shoulder's feeling, and that's where most of his focus possibly going.
Love to
About
take.
some of Fernandez's strengths all over the last few months. Of course, Kunieda has had a remarkable career when you look at some of the titles, some of his achievements over the years. What's he been able to do to be able to stand apart from his peers over the years?
You know, I'll tell you, these 3 young guys that are on the court with Shingo right now, Shingo 34 years
15
old,
off.
maybe, yeah, 34 years old, I think. And these guys all in their 20s, right? They are all recipients of what Shingo Kunieda has done for the sport of wheelchair tennis. I mean, they are the ones that looked at his game and said, wow, that's what I could become. I mean, they are of a younger generation of guys that have come up through the junior ranks and seen him setting the tone as to what the standard of wheelchair tennis was in the world. And really, they have all, in some ways, modeled their games after Shingo, because it was,
30-15.
how am I going to beat this guy? And so what are the things that I'm going to have to do to be able to combat him? And so really, in a lot of ways, they all owe. It's kind of like Tiger Woods in golf and the rest of the golfing world having to say, all right, what do I have to do differently in order to compete with a guy like Tiger Woods and Roger Federer in the able-bodied world? It's of that nature. And so Shingo is really one of the iconic needle movers in the sport of wheelchair tennis, where he took the game to a whole nother level of professionalism and competency. And really all credit to him for what he's done for the sport.
30 all.
Really revolutionized. Yeah, he's really revolutionized. He's just been one of those figures. Ability to go from defense to offense at the flip of a switch, where typically wheelchair player get on defense, stay on defense, and his neutralizing ball became revolutionary, and his ability to go from deep in the court on defense and then
40,
into
30.
the court and transition and quickly get on offense, you know, was never seen before. And he really kind of took the world by storm once he kind of perfected his playing style.
So, chance to get on the board here. Game point for the British pair. And they do.
Game. Hewett, Reid.
Hold of serve by Gordon Reid.
Fernandez, Kunieda lead. 4 games to 1.
Yeah, still got a
First
ways
set.
to go here. 4-1 down, but boy, that's good news on this changeover to get one under your belt.
Beautiful pictures of Manhattan across the water.
Yeah, and we haven't talked a little bit about the strengths of Fernandez and Kunieda as a team, but it's a pretty unique dynamic. I think it's the overpowering striking of Fernandez, and then the spin and the kind of tactical maneuvering of shots by Kunieda makes them a nice mix. You see a lot of big, heavy spinning balls from Kunieda, and you see a lot of really heavily struck, flattened out balls from Fernandez. So teams on the other side are oftentimes not getting the rhythm, seeing the same ball. They're seeing 2 distinctly different balls. And I think it can really disrupt rhythm, which makes them a good team. Served by
30-15.
Brits wondering what it is they got to do to find the court. You saw a good example there of Fernandez just holding his ground, whereas oftentimes you'll see the wheelchair players hit and execute what we call reverse mobility and circle back around and come in. But Fernandez oftentimes gets on the baseline and just holds his place and just continues to slug from his location. We'll see if we can get a good example of that again in this point, whereas you'll see the rest of them moving the chairs, cycling in and out. Oftentimes Gustavo will just sit and hold and hit.
40-30.
But takes incredible strength for a player to do that, the ability to quickly maneuver your chair and get into position to hit. And as you can see from his physique, he does possess that strength.
Wait, please.
Just this vibration dampener there.
I don't think you're going to get the first serve. Now he's looking to the opponent.
He's going to get you first serve. First serve.
Sportsmanlike gesture by Gordon Reid to give Gustavo the first serve back after the disruption.
Fernandez, Kunieda.
Fernandez takes advantage of the first serve.
5 games to
repeat,
1.
gets one in, and gets them to a 5-1 lead here.
Yeah, combining nicely. 23 minutes on the clock, that's all. Too far away from a one-set lead.
But we talked about this in the semifinal match, you know, that you mentioned about the format. And I don't think the Brits are too overly concerned. They'll let this run its course, and then they'll start up in the second set if necessary. And all they have to do is get a set. And then it's tiebreaker time, and everything's right back to even, I think.
Well, I think especially so. If you win that second set, you often go into that breaker feeling better than your opponents, don't you?
Yeah. It's really interesting dynamic with the match tiebreak. You win a first set and then lose a second, and you're like, uh-oh. Or vice versa, you lose a first set and you're like, so what? Just got to get a set, and we take it to the breaker. And it's a really interesting mental game you have to play with yourself depending on win or loss of the first set.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and that's where we talked about that heavy spinning ball. And that thing just goes way up, huge net clearance. And then watch how this thing just dives down and paints the line here, up and over. And Reid was really in a good position there. And that lob has to be perfect. That was.
An apology from the Argentine, just shanking the backhand, but it was effective. 3 set points.
Using every bit of that frame on that one.
That's nice.
Yeah, beautiful finish by Alfie.
Gives the shoulder
a rub, but he'll take it.
Second set point. Kunieda looking to get this return sweetly. Oh, he has. One of his best.
Did you call that one?
Fernandez, Kunieda. 6 games to 1.
The cherry on
New
top
balls,
right there. That's about as good. And you know what? It's not something you see Shingo do all that often, to really just drive a clean winner like that. It's not typically a one-shot pony.
Second set. Kunieda to serve. 2번.
Let's get the second set underway.
And we'll see if the Brits take it up a notch right to begin here.
Best point of the match to start this second set.
Absolutely right. That is a true men's wheelchair tennis point right there. I mean, at the highest level. All 4 players getting into the inside of the court, looking for poaching opportunities, and it's ultimately Gustavo Fernandez with the finish. Great point by all 4 players. Dynamic movement on the court. Uncharacteristic double fault by Shingo Kunieda. Yeah, wheelchair doubles, it's typically 1 guy hitting and 3 guys moving. That's pretty much the law of the land in wheelchair tennis. No sitting around. You might be hitting, but if you're not hitting, you better be moving. Wow. Another phenomenal point there.
15-30.
This had a lot more spin on it than I think Alfie thought, and just gets stretched out and a lot better than he thought that outcome there. I don't think Shingo expected that one to be quite as good as it was, but great get. Last rally, 22 shots. Really nice tennis right there.
Guy's really taking it up a notch in this opening game.
15-40.
Yeah, I think the lengthy points that we've seen to start this second set favor the Brits. They're very comfortable. They've played much more together than Shingo and Gustavo have. So lengthy points like that are not something that they're unaccustomed to. And so they'll stay in those rallies as long as they can. They get to utilize their strength, which is just swinging out on both sides, full strokes. They can do that all day.
First break point.
30-40.
More to face.
Game.
So an early break
You're
for
Reid.
Hewett and Reid.
2 double faults from Shingo.
First
in that
game, second
Sure, he's
set.
not happy about that. 3 points like that, not exactly what you want to do to let your opponents get back into a match, especially those critical first games of a second set where you want to kind of keep the momentum. Now the Brits are feeling comfortable, getting ready to go for their hold.
So it'll be Gordon Reid, the lefty. responsibility of trying to back up this break of serve. Start to work their way back into this final.
Great hands by Alfie Hewett. Yeah, and you get the sense here just early in the second set that the Brits look different, you know, and then they're really, like you said, taking it up a notch and elevating the level, forcing play here and executing just at a really, really high level. Beautiful. Pull them out, create the opening, finish through the middle. Yep, keeping it simple. Yeah, these guys have done that a lot in their career. Beautiful backhand volley, open court.
Just missed, just a second look. Deciding whether to fire up the chase review.
Yep, haven't had one yet in this match, I don't think. Save that one for another moment. Fernandez attempting to probably drive that one right at the feet of Reid. Comes up a little short. Not making it over the net, but I'm sure his intent was to get it right down at Gordon's feet, force him to pop something up. Point to Hewett and Reid.
A couple of points for a 2-0 lead here.
Game here at Reid.
British pair starting to rebound.
Here at Reid lead.
Yeah, exact mirror.
2 games to love.
Opposites of the first set there, with the unforced errors coming on the rackets of Fernandez and Kunieda now, where it was Hewett and Reid making most of the errors in the first set. They've settled in, decided they're here to stay. Yeah, pretty critical game right here to not let this second set get away from them. Let it hold here. You can hear Fernandez kind of pumping up his partner, trying to get the energy back up, get themselves into this set. 2-1 on the changeover. A big difference from 3-0. Again, after the lengthy rally, it's Fernandez and Kunieda coming up short. Another unforced error. The Brits just solid right now. Almost like nowhere to go with the ball.
Dream of a double, still alive at the moment.
15-30.
Singles champion. Of hours ago, and you mentioned, of course, Paul, you called it the double-double, didn't you? Because He achieved the same this time last year at the US Open.
Yeah, it's a happy place for him. Loves New York. Yeah, I often wonder, you know, with the Brits at Wimbledon, you know, if it's a lot of pressure, as it historically has been on the able-bodied side for the Henmans of the world and the Murrays of the world. Is it just almost too much to ask of them at Wimbledon to do it on the home soil? And it might be, I don't know. And you know, maybe they come to a tournament like this and a little bit less pressure, and they can just perform and show their abilities.
For a double break midway through this second set.
Do you think there's any validity to that? I mean, knowing a little bit about
there's history there, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure players from France would say the same about playing at Roland Garros.
Game, Reid.
So there is the double break.
Reid lead, 3 games to love, second set.
Yeah, the forehand from Fernandez has been, well,
Kunieda.
I think we might have seen 3 unforced errors here just recently. That seems to be breaking down a little bit. I love flying into LaGuardia, going over all these stadiums, Citi Field and Billie Jean King Tennis Center, and there's just sometimes when you fly in and bank just right, that it'll be right out your window. You'll get a view just like that. It's always like coming home. It's such a warm feeling to be returning here to this beautiful tennis center. Some world-class mobility from the Brits there with Gordon in and then getting out, and Alfie pushing forward and pressing the action and forcing another error from Fernandez. Still in command here. 4th game, 2nd set. Change of positions here by the Brits. 1 in, 1 out. Reid doing what they call cycling, looking for something weak to pick off. Now it's Alfie's turn.
Oh, far away.
30 love.
Just wide. Incredible turnaround.
Yeah, incredible interchangeability between those two players you're looking at right there. The ability for both of those. You know, sometimes there's a team that maybe has one guy who's gifted in the back and one guy who's gifted at going forward. But with the Brits, it can be both of them at any given time. And that's what makes them such a phenomenal doubles team. They're almost like interchangeability, either one going forward or either one protecting from the back. Makes them great.
30-15.
Presumably, even if this second set does slip away from Fernandez and Kunieda, they want to try and start to make this more competitive. You don't want to go into that deciding breaker, do you, on the back of a rough second set?
Yeah, I think, you know, we talked a little bit about that. I don't know if they worry too much about that. I think, all right, so what? And now, you know, the pressure's back on because the Brits are so hot. Can they sustain that through the tiebreaker? I think Fernandez and Kunieda will be thinking, all right, you know what? Pressure's off again. Let's just play the tiebreaker, and it all gets back to even. You know, and with these 4, so much tennis between all of them, it'll just be who executes down the stretch. And I hope we get there because I think it's looking that way, and that's always exciting.
Chase review confirming that was just long.
And much like the New Yorkers who are oftentimes disappointed when their straight set victories in Ash and everything like that. Confederate blows them out, and maybe boo. And it's not like they're mad at it. They want more tennis, right? And at this point, I'm a tennis fan as well, so I want to see more tennis. So if these guys can get it to the tiebreaker, it'll be fun and entertaining.
Mr. Kunieda challenging the call, left service line.
Another challenge.
Ball was called in.
From the Brits. He's looking for a mark.
Brits seem pretty happy with this. Oh, no, she just missed.
Some incredible eyes by the master. Has that look of, yeah, I might be the oldest on the court, but I still got the eyes.
Deuce.
It's a double fault. It's back to Juice. Fernandez and Kunieda, if they can just steal a break of serve here, might have a slightly different feeling about this second set.
Yeah, this is the point where, oh no, I think they got like a 4-love lead in the first set, Kunieda and Fernandez. I think it was until the 5th game that it was gone.
Mr. Kunieda challenging call right baseline.
Thick and fast.
Ball's called out.
Chance reviews. Let's have the technology here every quarter.
I don't think he's going to get this one. What do I know?
Wow. Well, I saw that long as well, I have to say.
Advantage. Fernandez.
Don't worry, partner. I got your back. I got the eyes.
Replay the point.
So point replayed back to Juice. Wasn't far away.
Not at all.
Another one, are we?
Mr. Reid challenging call.
I thought he
Left
was
near
looking for
sideline.
confirmation.
Ball's called out.
He's going with the full challenge. Gordon says, yeah, why not?
Advantage Fernandez.
Good call on that occasion.
They really don't miss many. It's phenomenal how good a job they do. And the speed with which these games are played, they're very good. Best in the world.
Chance to get this back to a single break.
Game. Fernandez, Kunieda.
You know, I sometimes wonder about the challenges and things. Do they almost
The
disrupt
team,
the flow?
Hewett
And sometimes
Reid
we're almost
with one
better off
challenge
to just let
remaining.
it go and just keep rolling when things are going as well as they were for them. But everything seemed to go
Hewett Reid lead, 3
Kunieda
games to 1.
Fernandez
Second
way
set.
on all the challenges that went on there in that little stretch.
USOpen.org, just a reminder, is the official tournament website. You can download the official app as well for scores, stats, highlights, player news, celebrity societies, available in the App Store and Google Play Store.
Left 15.
Almost around the net post, wasn't too far away.
Not really. No. He's like, I'm out here. Why not take a crack at it? Yeah, hold here by Kunieda and Fernandez, and then we're right back in things.
15 all.
See the momentum shifting a little bit again back to Fernandez and Kunieda as they take a slight lead here.
Net for service. Mr. Kunieda challenging the call right baseline. The ball was called out.
The way the umpire said that, Mr. Kunieda, is like as if that's all he ever does. Challenge things, challenge things.
30 all.
He missed that one by a good bit.
Team Fernandez, Kunieda with 2 challenges remaining.
Desperately trying to stay in this second set. This is an important service game.
Great first serve there, great depth.
40-30.
Alfie asking why I not make that return? Frustrated with himself. Let it go, Alf. Here we go.
Net for service. Game. Fernandez, Kunieda.
So Kunieda does get the holds, and slowly but
Fernandez,
surely,
Kunieda
working
Hewett,
their
Reid
way
lead.
back into the second
3
set.
games to 2 second
Yeah,
set.
kind of digging and
First set,
clawing and everything like
Kunieda,
that. But
Fernandez.
there they are, 3-2, and you know, in a good position to kind of get this thing back to 3-all. They have put a lot of time, effort, and money into the facility here. I think they've got it the way they want it. And it is really rather remarkable. And it's New York, and it's full of energy. All the Grand Slam, it has its distinctive feel.
Yeah, very distinctive, you know, and that's the element that I'd always been talking about, and you get a sense of that from watching as a kid on TV. You know, some of the more high-profile matches over the years, but it's a very different feeling when you're courtside, and you can hear that noise, and there's people walking around and grabbing hot dogs and burgers and beers, and it actually struck me on this court. I watched the end of the match between Andrei Rublev and Matteo Berrettini, what, about a week or so ago now.
Just seeing a window right there, and boy, that's experience and just confidence. A small window, a short opening, and Shingo drives it right through. Communicated well. Alfie hits a good shot, but one little opening. Look at that.
this court with the roof closed and full of excited fans. It was some noise.
Yeah, there's nothing like it when Ash gets going at night. Here, first week, second week, it doesn't matter. And it's late, might be 11 o'clock at night. The place is still packed, and people want more tennis. And there's a good match going on, and it's electric, and you just feel the energy. It's a phenomenal place, but I'm sure they've done a nice job with Armstrong in creating a second opportunity like that in a closed roof stadium.
Is this a popular slam amongst the wheelchair?
Yeah, I think it is. And again, I think because again, it's you're coming to New York, right? And you know, you probably either love New York or maybe that the city's crazy, and I don't, you know, depending on your own personality. But I think by and large, most people love coming to New York. Again, it's like a London. It's one of those truly unique cities that there are few of in the world, and so I think they do. It's the end of the year. It's the last Grand Slam, so I think they like it.
Game. Hewett Reid.
So an important hold. What could be an important hold? Just to establish that
two-game
advantage.
4 games to 2. Second set.
Yeah. Just when Fernandez and Kunieda were getting a little bit momentum, that is pretty critical. And so, yep, Alfie gives Gordy the nod and says, "Yep, that's how we do it. Let's stay up. Let's stay on it. Finish this set out, and let's go."
Ooh.
15-love.
Yeah, massive return. And Gustavo Fernandez just fighting it off, and Alfie getting a little overzealous on that finish. It was a big return. A couple quick free points, and potentially quick and easy hold for Fernandez Kunieda. Work to do yet, but those are 2 quick, easy points right there. Make it 3 easy.
40-love.
And that's just those are momentum killers there. Those early errors, early in the point, when you don't let it give your opponents a chance to make a mistake or something like that. It's just kind of killing the momentum you just created in the last service game.
Around the net post.
Fernandez, Kunieda.
Almost took his own head off on the rebound.
Hewett Reid lead. 4 games to 3. Second
I keep
set.
thinking, yeah, maybe
First
not as
set.
smart as I thought it was. It's not how I planned it.
A couple of games away from forcing a deciding tiebreak. A match tiebreak it would be. First to 10 points to settle this title decider. Final day of action in New York.
Now you love seeing that, and again, that's just because of a true partnership there. You see these guys at a really critical moment, kind of laughing and feeling light and loose with each other. That's what keeps them playing good tennis.
15-love.
Not letting the tension of the moment get the best of them. They both know when we're loose, we play our best tennis. Great get there by Alfie, just getting that one back in play off the big Fernandez forehand.
(30-15).
Of course, not too far away now, is it? The Paralympics, which will be around this time next year, end of August, early September, in Japan, of course. Where does that sit with player ambitions these days, with the development of the tour and, of course, the 4 majors?
Yeah, I think it's still the pinnacle of the sport. We talked a little bit off air about the significance of the Paralympics starting in 1992 with tennis first being played at the Barcelona Olympics, and how every 4 years that was the chance for gold and the top of the sport. And then, of course, with the introduction of wheelchair tennis into the majors starting in the early 2000s, you know, the pinnacle of sport started to move a little bit, you know, because these are such highly coveted events for players to participate in. But I think every 4 years, because it's only every 4 years, it still has that aura about it. And the wheelchair tour, there's kind of this natural 4-year Paralympic cycle, and we're right in it right now. So all these matches and all these tournaments that these players are playing around the world all count towards their qualification towards Rio. Of course, these 4 will all qualify easily, being some of the absolute top players in the world. But for them, it's things like, where am I going to be in the seeding? You know, maybe you want to, you know, you're looking at 1 and 2 in the world over there as a tandem, and you'd maybe want to avoid them. So can you get higher up, and could you possibly get to number 2 and avoid Fernandez and things like that? And so you're all jockeying. These guys will be there, and all 4 of these individuals would easily and could easily contend for the gold medal in Tokyo. Kunieda will be on home soil. Reid will be looking to repeat. Alfie, silver medalist in Rio, looking to maybe get the 1 gold for himself. And Fernandez, of course, currently world number 1, looking to add to his resume. So yeah, the Paralympics still a premier event.
Yeah, huge for this guy, of course.
Yeah, he's still at the height of his career, but he's not on the upswing. He's had a great and illustrious career, but he's a little bit on the downhill of that. He's not a kid anymore in the grind of the tour, so it's possible that would be the last Paralympics of Shingo's life. I think it's really likely, of course. He may continue to play on the tour for a little while longer because of the money that's available, and it's his profession. And he's still at the top of the heap, but as far as 4 years, another 4 years to make a run at Paris, I think that might be a little bit too much. To do it on home soil would be something special.
No pressure here. Oh, it's long.
Game. Fernandez, Kunieda.
They've completed the comeback.
They
4 games all.
chipped away, right?
Set.
3 love down, and they just kept chipping. And here we are at 4 all. So it is every bit a real quality match right now. Nothing but pressure points from this point on. 4 all, and whether we go tiebreaker or not, a lot of high intensity points to be played here down the stretch. Actually, all 4 of these players really capable with the soft hands, but I think the lefties always make it look the best, don't they? There's just something about how the lefties do it. It just always looks better. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice.
Easy to do on this higher bouncing hard courts.
Love 30.
Put that shot on the grass, of course, and it's a little more effective, isn't it? The dying on the soft grass.
Right. Rebound here off the. Deco 2, if I'm not mistaken. It's the actual surface for this hard court.
Beautiful rally.
Yep, Reid had seen one of those points a little earlier, but I think we just saw the marquee point of the match again. Yeah, much deserving prize there. 37-shot rally, ending with the Hewett error, but a lot of different dynamics on that point. Net play, volley exchanges. Yeah, that's brilliant tennis by all four players. All that just to get it to 15-30. Fernandez, a nice shot, Sensei.
A big 40-30 from love 30.
Yeah, clearly put some pressure on the Brits to serve to stay in the match. And they were down 30 love in this service game, or love 30 on the serve, and that was that huge point. Great hit by Shingo. Saw that Fernandez slicing backhand out on the forehand side of Hewett, and that ball just tailing away from Alfie, but him staying on the wheels and aggressively getting that ball back in play, forcing Fernandez into the air.
Just double check this. The chair umpire allows them
Mr. Kunieda challenging the call. Right, sideline.
I don't know why that amuses me so much, but doesn't it? Is it me, or is it kind of like
One Smith in the chair?
he missed it?
Feeling like he said that a few times in this second set.
He sure has. It seems like I think it's like the 5th time actually. Yeah, he got the first 2 right. Forehand in the net, and just like that, they had a chance to put a hold on and put the pressure. It's the Brits who get the break.
Tight game on serve. They will serve for this second set now, 5-4. So they have to break to keep this second set going. Otherwise we'll be into a shootout for the title.
Well, maybe we go tiebreaker. Get the second set breaker and go right into the match tiebreaker, possibly. That'd be fun for the tennis enthusiasts.
Great rally.
Yeah, I don't know how much more they'll continue to test Gordon Reid. It's about 3 or 4 shots in that rally alone, and Gordon has been up to the task all day, and I don't know how much more Kunieda and Fernandez will continue to test him at the net down the stretch, but he has answered almost every challenge there.
And again.
Are they not listening to me?
It would appear not.
No, it would appear not.
30 love.
But yeah, I mean, get it all to Gordy's credit there. He has been solid. I mean, really solid at the net under a heavy barrage. Answered every challenge almost. Kunieda finally figures out if you can't go through him, maybe it's wiser to go over him. I'd give him a chance to actually get a racket on it.
Is Reid known for his good hands around the net?
Well, I mean, if he's not, he should be, obviously. Yeah. I mean, I don't think today is a fluke. So,
it's
yeah.
noticeable, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And I would think that they would be well aware that he's capable up there. I mean, they're not making it easy on him, but he's making it look easy. A really nice serve there by Gordy.
2 set points. Not there just yet.
40-30.
Haven't commented on it yet, but this matchup with Reid serving as a lefty to Fernandez. Fernandez backhand cross court is one of his great strengths, especially on the return. But it kind of gets negated going against the Reid forehand, so we'll see how this one plays out. It's to the backhand that time.
Oh, that's big.
That is, yes, massive. Just like the arms on Gustavo Fernandez himself, that forehand through the middle. That's from a long way back in the court too, with a lot of time for those guys to see it. It still drives it right through.
So back to deuce after having 2 set points. More work to do.
Finally, a ball that Reid couldn't handle. Just one that Fernandez really was able to blast down to the backhand side of Gordon Reid. It's about the only one he hasn't really dealt with so far today.
Words of encouragement from his partner facing break point.
Yeah, there's the classic lefty out wide, stretching Fernandez out on the backhand side. Yeah, you know, and it's, you know, to not overuse that, you know, so that he's sitting on it. That's a wise move by Gordy Reid right there. Hasn't really swung that many out wide yet today. Saved it for a pretty critical moment. And there it is. That's why they employ that moving forward strategy on the first serve. Anything left weak gets picked off. And there's a perfect example of it.
Another chance. Set point number 3. save another.
Yeah, you can see the Brits really defending the middle on most of those balls. Both Gordy and Alfie in the middle defending, and it's this, you know, you watch them here on these shots here. Look at them both defending middle, and what you're going to see here is Fernandez having the chance, and instead of going middle, big down the line, and Gordy just can't turn around and recover, make the answer. Bigger backhands we've seen from Reid today. A critical moment. Tees it up well inside the court. Angle available to him. Nothing Shingo can do but nod and acknowledge the greatness.
So another chance. Be fourth time lucky for the British pair.
Game and second set.
It will.
Hewett Reid. 6 games to 4.
Big game on serve.
1 set all.
Finally goes the way
Ladies
of the
and
Brits,
gentlemen,
and it's game
following the set break.
It is. We're going to get what we talked about early in the broadcast. Match tiebreak. First to 10, win by 2 for everything. U.S. Open, men's doubles championship, wheelchair division. This match tiebreak to decide this men's doubles championship. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. I don't think any of these players will back off one bit. They're all too well trained. They've been in big moments. And it's just going to be about execution.
Match tiebreak, Fernandez to serve.
So the world number 1 will get this underway. First to 10 with 2 clear points.
Zero. Hewett Reid.
Not sure that forehand was dipping.
Yeah, didn't really even get a good look at that. Shingo typically with some pretty good hands. Thought he would have picked up that little half volley there, but I dumped it in an early lead to the Brits.
Exchange.
2-0. Hewett Reid.
Yeah, it's been the Fernandez forehand that's produced some pretty big winners here, but it's the unforced errors as well. And having taken a look at the stats for the 2 sets, it's really the unforced errors. It's been the difference between the 2 teams. And in the first set, it was Reid and Hewett committing the majority, and in the second set, Fernandez, Kunieda. So right here, that's the first 2 points, unforced errors.
3-0. Hewett Reid.
So fast start for the Brits. It's first to 10. It does give you just a little space to try and work your way back into these. Not quite so dramatic as a regular breaker. First to 7 if you do make a slow start. You've got work to do here.
Sure do.
Four 0. Hewett Reid.
Yeah, well, since that first point where Shingo missed the half volley, he's been a little off. That's his third unforced error here in the tiebreaker. That's uncharacteristic for him.
4-1.
By Alfie trying to kind of
Reid.
step up and really put the hammer down, but Kunieda and Fernandez will take that one gladly.
Yeah, that's a start. Try and build from there now.
I think Alfie to go out wide here. The middle pulls him up.
4-2. Hewett Reid.
6 points, 6 unforced errors. That's been how all the points have been decided so far in the tiebreak. So maybe there's a little tension out there as expected in such a critical moment like this.
Well, could be an important point to win that 6th, couldn't it, for Fernandez and Kunieda? Big difference in terms of trying to turn it around. If you're 5-1 down, 4-2, just that single point makes it's quite a big difference psychologically.
It doesn't feel, honestly, that doesn't seem that big, but it is huge. You're right. 4-2 is like, yeah, it's a normal changeover oftentimes. 5-1 feels big. And so I think things maybe will settle down now. On the first changeover here on the breaker, I think we're going to see a little bit higher quality going forward from all 4 of these guys. Maybe they've gotten a little bit of tension out of themselves. So let's hope that they all rise up here.
Spectacular.
Hewett Reid.
Yeah, he went for the big one. That would have been pretty dramatic.
4-point advantage has disappeared fairly quickly. Back on serve now.
That's just a really lazy swing by Shingo. He knows it. He's not happy.
Hewett Reid.
Just really no commitment to that stroke. And just when they had the momentum going, 3 straight points, and they give one back. And there's 8 out of 8 unforced errors here in the breaker. Left it open.
6-3.
Scottish threading of the needle
Hewett
right
Reid.
there.
I enjoyed that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's in that moment where you hit a ball and you realize, wait a second, lefty. Sitting there on the forehand. I mean, just in that moment, you know, all of a sudden with all the changing going on, you're like, wait a second, forehand. And Reid makes him pay.
6-3, 4 points away.
It's our first winner of 9 points in the break. Taking over and saying, I got this one.
7-3. Hewett Reid.
Getting closer. Alfie Hewett, remember, going for 2 trophies in the same day. Didn't look on after that first set, did it? But
yeah, like I said, no panic from those guys after that first set. They knew what they had to do. They've been in this position before. 4-point lead is back.
Seven, 4. Hewett Reid.
See if Fernandez and Kunieda can go on a little roll here. I think they'd be wise to close this gap. If they could get it to 7-6 even, I think, before they lose the next point, that would make things interesting. You can tell Shingo's pretty disappointed. He's had a tough tiebreaker. World #1 trying to take over like a singles player there in the middle of a doubles match. Not coming up with it, forcing a little bit too much.
so change of ends. In control again. And now the finish line. Not too far away. Looking confident, the British pair.
Yeah, 4 up at 8-4 is a nice position to be in. 4-2 wasn't so bad, but right now, Fernandez and Kunieda up against it. Throw caution to the wind and just start swinging out and hope to catch fire, perhaps. Tough to just grind this out against the Brits. They're just too good in covering court.
8-5.
A little bit bigger serve than we see from Kunieda there, so that certainly was his approach.
Just wide.
8-6.
Well. 8-4 becomes 8-6.
Quickly.
It's not quite so comfortable any longer. Things getting very tight now.
8-7.
Yeah, all compressed right into the tiebreaker. You know, a little bit undisciplined and uncharacteristics from Kunieda and Fernandez to start. Got off to a slow start, and here it is. Like 3 straight points from the Brits where they looked a little bit uncomfortable and uneasy. And now it's getting, as you mentioned, getting tight. Fernandez deserved to possibly put this at 8-all.
Done.
Yeah. And there we are, just like that, from 8-4 down to 8-all. Testing Gordon Reid again. And a lot of options here for Fernandez, and man, he made it look nice.
Power initially, and then the finesse to finish the job.
Yep.
8 apiece.
Net. Second service.
Living a little dangerously there.
Yeah, I'm tense just sitting here watching this. I don't have to hit a serve. Nice. Curious to see who attacks here, who goes forward. It's the Brits with the first one down.
Again, the touch and the finesse
9-8.
from the lefty that makes the difference.
Yeah.
Hewett, Reid.
I don't know if Kunieda did not sense him sneaking in on this. Kind of a little bit of a sneak attack, but he just left that one laying out there. Easy dump in the box for Gordy. He'll handle that almost 100 times out of 100.
Championship points for the British pair.
Fernandez up to the task. A rare return to serve winner. There's his mom and dad all the way in from Argentina. And just really proud of their son for that. Explosive backhand shot on championship point up against it. Wow.
On we go, 9 apiece.
That's big time.
Another change of ends.
Yep.
2 points clear now, remember. Which team can deliver here on Armstrong?
Fernandez and Kunieda camp right there. Shingo with the unforced error.
10-9.
On the return, but it's Alfie moving forward, kind of forcing Kunieda into that return right there. And him just pushing it a little bit wide. If Alfie doesn't go forward on that serve, Shingo probably quietly just returns that comfortably up the middle and gets the point started.
So another chance for the Brits.
Game, set,
Reid.
match. Hewett, Reid.
Oh, the US Open
1-6.
champions.
6-4.
And an absolute thriller on Armstrong. Down to the wire.
Yeah, couldn't have been much better tennis here down the stretch. And again, I know it's Kunieda who's really disappointed in himself. It was him that kind of had the majority of errors in the beginning of this tiebreaker and there at the end with the last two. But all credit to the champs, the two Brits, two teammates, and Alfie Hewett. What a spectacular day here at the Billie Jean King Tennis Center at Louis Armstrong Stadium to finish it off.
I'm Brian Bahaley, a member of the USTA Board of Directors. How about a big round of applause for our finalists and our champions? Congrats to you both for a terrific tournament. I'd like to invite our finalists, Fernandez, Kunieda, to come forward and receive their trophies from the Net Generation future American tennis champion, 11-year-old Max Wong from New York, New York, and tournament director of the US Open wheelchair tennis competition, Joe Wallen. Pass the mic to you guys. You want to say a few words?
First, congratulate you guys. You did a good match. Alfie, great week. Congrats, man. Good job. Thank you, Shingo. It's always a pleasure to play with you. And well, it was a tough match, tough week, but just to keep working and for the next year. Thank you.
Okay, you guys come back. All right, and now our Deloitte representative and Joe Wallen will present the champions, Hewett and Reid, with their trophies. All right, who wants to say a few words? You want to take it?
Yeah, Alfie's already had one shot at speaks today, so I'll go this time. Yeah, it was a really tough match, especially the first set. These guys played really well, so I'm glad that we managed to fight our way back into it and then played a strong tiebreak. But thanks to USTA and everyone at US Open for showcasing our sport on the stadium courts again this year. It's a pleasure to play on these courts. Thanks to Alfie for a great doubles week again. It's our first title together this year, so it's a good place to do it. Thanks to all the coaching team who've helped us this week, and the Scottish fans over there and the Norwich fans as well. Yeah, hopefully we can come back and make it 4 in a row next year. Thank you.
Alfie, anything? All right, let's have one more round of applause for the 2019 US Open Wheelchair Tennis Men's Doubles Champions.
So the champions and runners-up will come forward for photographs. Gordon Reid and Alfie Hewett will leave New York as the 2019 men's doubles champions.